strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
In the AM with Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bach.
Tournament week is upon you. You ready for it? Really, it doesn't matter if you're ready for it. Are the Lobos ready for it? Ladies go today. Men go on Wednesday. JJ's in Vegas. The OD comes to you live from Sin City or America's basketball town, whichever it is. 6 tournaments. The Big West, the West Coast Conference, the Western Athletic Conference, the Pac-12, the Mountain West, all converging on Las Vegas this week. That's why JJ is there. Lobos are there. And let's go, because it is now March, coming off of a weekend of a little bit of disappointment on, well, not a little bit, a lot of disappointment on Friday night for Lobo fan. I know we're going to get into that. Ladies ready to go. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, opening drive on a Monday morning. Good day, sir. How you living in Vegas?
Good morning. How you doing?
You look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to excel. You all right?
Absolutely. Ready to go.
Game day for you. Ladies go at 3:30 Mountain Time against San Diego State in the 4-5 game. I don't know if you've been out. Do you sense something? Because I know this week when I'm in Vegas, everywhere I go, and there's so much going on. You had NASCAR this weekend in Vegas. You had all kinds of shows going on. If you see my brother there, or Turtle or somebody, run into those guys, run them down. I think they're getting out today. But do you get the feeling of tournament time?
Oh, absolutely. It's just one of those weekends, and it's always busy. Anytime you pop through Vegas, come in the airport, doesn't matter what time it is, and people going in, people going out. But, it's a different feel in this city. And from the Uber drivers to everyone at the hotels, they know it's basketball time in this city. That's why there's so many teams scattered across all these hotels. You sense it, and there's a different vibe, man. It's March. Like the players, the coaches, the fans, they know what's at stake.
And it picks up throughout the week. JJ is there for the ladies. I'll get in on Wednesday, and the opening drive will be in Vegas all week, thanks to Coleman Vision, perfect game. California Closets, custom closet systems and solutions for the whole home. New Mexico look, the best in New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel. And Rich Ford celebrating 62 years in the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. All right, for Lobo men, they go on Wednesday, the sixth place game, 6-11. And a disappointing showing on Friday, 92-84. They gave up 92 points on the road, and Richard Pitino said after the game, flat out, we've just got to defend. We can't expect to outscore teams every single night. Jamal Mashburn Jr. scheduled to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to talking to Mash about where the players are and what they have to do to make a 4-game run, JJ. It's not 3 days in Vegas, it's 4. But when you watch that game the other night, I don't know, it was – I was playing golf with someone yesterday. He says, every team we play, was a Lobo fan. He says, every team we play seems like they have their best shooting night of the year against us. And I told you there's something about senior night, and Air Force almost pulled it off, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway because San Jose State won. But it would have mattered because the confidence, the way you feel going into this tournament, having just lost on the road to Colorado State the way you lost.
It was what we know about this Lobo team. It's nothing new. It's nothing surprising. Defensively, they can really struggle, and it was one of their worst defensive performances. But what was harder about it is they were good offensively, and they're efficient offensively, and that's usually something that helps them get by because that style of game, the tempo, when it's up, when the Lobos are playing fast, that usually helps cover some of the warts they had defensively. But it's one that we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it with Jamal Mashburn. How do you guys defend better? How do you do this? Well, they just got to – it's not score more points. That's the only way this team can win right now because I don't see them magically overnight going, we're going to start doing all these things defensively now that we haven't done all season.
58.1% is what Colorado State shot for the game. 58.1%, 32 of 55 for the field, and they were 55% from three-point line. I mean, they were just a senior night, special night, and they're going to play a team that in Wyoming on Wednesday, who on their senior night beat Nevada, who beat you in the pit by 14 points, granted without Jalen House, about 4 weeks ago, that went in and San Diego State kind of toyed with, I thought, on Saturday to win their championship. But don't think that this is a team that can't beat you on Wednesday. They have, and they're capable. I would think New Mexico gets out of the 6-11 game and gets themselves into that game against Utah State on Thursday. But, man, I'm not going to sit here and I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it. If you asked me to bet, I'd bet New Mexico. But they don't get to just roll out the ball in the 6-11 game and figure out, all right, what are we going to do tomorrow?
It's not. And it's just, unfortunately, when you've seen this team in Mountain West play, I used to say from a fan standpoint, you've lost confidence in this team. Like, yeah, you can sit here and go, they can beat anyone. They could go on a run. They could win some games. And they could bow out in the first round. And that is really wild to say for a team that reached the heights that they did throughout the season, that elevated the expectations for. We were sitting there legitimately like, there's no doubt this is an at-large team, NCAA tournament. Here we go. Vegas is going to be icing on the cake, and now they have to win this tournament.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to go through this a lot today. We're going to get some football for you. It is the spring game. Today is the culmination of spring football practice for Lobo football as well. Monday night football out at the stadium tonight. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. So Jamal Mashburn at 8, Danny Gonzalez at 9, and we want to hear from you. So I guess there's a number of questions as we go through Lobo basketball this weekend. Or today. And you're going to get the men's all-league teams, right? Tay Duff was first team for the ladies, and Shai Magruder was honorable mention. It came out over the weekend. I would expect our 8 o'clock guest to be first team all-league. Wouldn't you with Jamal Mashburn Jr.?
Yes.
Even though they finished sixth in the league. Now, if they were higher in the standings, I would tell you even fourth. Maybe he's up for player of the year. Who's player of the year in this league?
So that is one that, Jeff Grammer tweeted out yesterday that he saw most of the ballots, and he said the major awards, there's nothing unanimous. And that makes a ton of sense.
You're going to miss?
No, nothing unanimous.
Oh, 100%.
So you're sitting there going, player of the year, like who would it be? Would it be Matt Bradley?
It
from
could
San Diego
be because
State?
they won
Just
the
because they
league,
finished first?
But he wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
Could it be Omari Moore from San Jose State who got them into that fifth seed, who was spectacular? I mean, normally it's not a guy in a fifth place team, but he was spectacular this year. I don't think Harkless gets it there, the seventh seed. Where do you go? I mean, second place, who would you take off? Would it be Degenhart if you went to Boise State? I mean, and they just got beat. The shooter, why am I forgetting his name? I mean, nobody from Utah State stands out and says they should be player of the year.
Even on the third place team.
Right?
And, yeah.
And are you going to the fourth place team? I mean, Nevada doesn't have anybody that says player of the year. I mean, the guy would be Omari Moore, right, from San Jose State, or Jamal Mashburn, the two guys who I would say, wow, those were the best individual players, and they're on the fifth and sixth place team. Like, even going to coach of the year, I would vote Tim Miles, I think, because of the job he did. Brian Dutcher, I guess they were expected to win, right? So you never, I mean, you don't never, but does he win it? Does Morris Udeze get newcomer of the year?
I think so.
He should, right?
Yeah.
Newcomer of the year?
He's got the good enough numbers to be in that conversation, and then that's one you'd be looking at. Lucas first year, right, in Nevada?
Lucas was first year. No, he was really good too from Oregon State, transferred over. He was really good, but Mo
up for that.
Mo was
But Mo,
fantastic.
no problem if Mo gets that award.
Sixth man of the year, Donovan Dent? Chance?
I don't know. That's
Freshman? Who's freshman of the year?
I don't.
Right?
So there's nothing that
just
like, stands
jumps
out
off.
immediately. Like you just go to. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this guy, no doubt.
No. Even all a first team, even picking the 5 first teamers is going to be difficult. So that'll come out today, but I got to believe Jamal Mashburn will be on that. And he's going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock. All right. Going around college basketball was crazy this weekend. And watching tournaments. Did you see, and this is the one, you know how Van Pelt does best things I saw weekend. Hey, Marie, good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
A lot of golf. A lot of fun.
Did you watch a lot of golf or play a lot of golf?
Played.
How'd you play?
Actually, I played pretty good for not playing for a couple of months.
All right. Good. It's good to get out and then come back and watch Kurt Kitayama win Arnie's tournament. Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good finish yesterday.
That wasn't my pick, by the way.
No, it wasn't anybody's pick because he had never
A lot of
won
hoops,
before.
a lot of golf. It was a great weekend.
So my favorite hoops I saw, Tennessee Tech hit a shot at the buzzer to win their tournament. It was Ohio Valley, I think, and their celebration. They were going to the NCAA tournament, and they looked at their video, and the guy's foot was on the line. So really, all they did was go to overtime, and they lost in overtime. I thought that was one of the most brutal ones of all. But you got teams in the tournament, you got teams moving, you got teams going, and that was fun. Did you get to watch your Suns Mavericks game? I know that was on the list for you as well.
Oh yeah, it was during my tea time though, so there's a lot of phone action.
Okay, so you watched on the phone. All right.
But I picked the Suns to win.
And they did. Did you pick Luka and Booker to go nose to nose, chest to chest?
I did not.
with 3 seconds
I did
left?
not pick that, Jeff.
I got a lot of thoughts on that. Got a lot of thoughts on that, and then we got to get into John Morant because guy that I don't know was kind of tabbed to be the face of the league is now out for a while. I don't know how long. He was in a club, his own Instagram, kind of making his own video and brandish a gun. And it's a bad look for him and a bad look for the league and a bad look for the Grizzlies. And so he's down, and we're going to get into that for a while. So there's a ton that we're going to go through, football, the NFL Combine as well. And I'm looking forward to it. Want to hear your thoughts. Level fan, where are you? Here we go. I mean, it's Vegas week. Are you going? How do you feel about it? Getting there in time? They're playing on Wednesday now. It's Wednesday afternoon. You ready for this? Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, we will talk to their leading scorer, a guy who I think should be first team all-league. Jamal Mashburn Jr. will be with us, Lobo guard. And Marie, JJ, looking forward to talking to him about where the team is. How do they feel right now as they head into this tournament? And what do they got to do something I don't think anybody's done before, win 4 in a row in this league to get to the NCAA tournament. It's the opening drive from Vegas and the Burke on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Ja Morant is one of the brightest, best young stars in sport, let alone the National Basketball Association. Ja Morant is on his way, or was potentially, to being the face of the NBA. Do you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
Ja Morant is not playing right now. Kind of on an NBA timeout. I don't even know if he's suspended. I'm assuming he's getting paid. But he's away from his team for at least 2 games, and now there's no definitive timeline for his return. The NBA player says he seeks help. The NBA is investigating the Instagram Live video that he posted late Friday night, early Saturday morning in Denver, in which he displayed I love how they say what appeared to be. I mean, I don't know. What are we not allowed to say that was a gun? A gun while at a nightclub. And it said at least 2 games. And there's a lot here. And we're from everything from legalities to cultural pieces to right and wrong to danger to what's going on. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got shot. Nobody got killed. But Ja Morant's out. When you guys heard this story, and this kind of happened pretty quickly, I'm curious your initial thoughts and then kind of where you landed now. Because, I mean, all of a sudden, the league took this really seriously, and they sat him down. They shut him down quickly.
Yeah, this is, hey, you better step away and get things figured out before we suspend you type of deal. Because this is an ongoing pattern for Ja Morant. This isn't just, they're freaking out because a man had a handgun. Well, first off, he's in Denver, so is he traveling with a handgun on the team plane? There's all these questions, or is he just hanging out with his friends that have guns, and you still don't want to be doing that and then putting it on social media because it's a bad look for you, it's a bad look for the league. But this goes back to the incident where allegedly, and the NBA investigated this and told people to stay away, so it's not allegedly anymore, but that was the process, when some of his buddies, his friends, got into it with the Indiana Pacers, and there was a laser that was like shown from an SUV towards the Pacers players and employees in a post-game incident. And so that's one thing. And then you fast forward down the line and you hanging out with those same friends that do indeed have a weapon that might have been shining something that was attached to a weapon as opposing players in the NBA. This could easily spiral out of control so quickly with Ja Morant having himself in the wrong company. And this is the moment where everyone is saying, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself with Ja Morant, because that is the path he is on. Because it's no longer, hey, you know, just taken out of context, this or that. There is a pattern that is very dangerous for a young star in this league.
Young star, young team. Oh, I'm disappointed. I'm actually sad because I'm like, is this guy a punk because he's so likable? He's a role model to kids. Like, you just can't be getting involved in that. I hope it changes, but I'm highly disappointed.
So, JJ, you brought up there were a number of incidents before, right? That this wasn't just an isolated thing. And again, it's let's be very clear, because I know this call's coming. Firearms are not illegal. It is not illegal in most states now to be licensed and carry a firearm. You'd be surprised how many people, maybe you wouldn't, or are armed and to defend themselves have a gun. That's the first. It's the Second Amendment, and so that in its own right is not illegal. That's I don't think that is the issue. Okay, so we're going to get to somebody's going to come in with that, and I don't think that in itself is the issue. Washington Post put out a story last week, and it talked about 2 incidents involving Ja Morant this summer, which there were police reports, no arrests. The second incident, according to the police interviews that the Washington Post obtained, a 17-year-old boy had alleged that Ja Morant emerged from his house with a gun in his waistband and in his hand on the weapon. And there was a fight between the boy, the 17-year-old boy, and Morant during a pickup basketball game in Ja Morant's backyard. Evidently, there was another confrontation with a mall security guard in a parking lot. So you're going to tell me, look, man, neither one of those are all that serious, and you're probably right, because what was the end result? But what JJ's saying and where you're going, man, where are we going? Where's the line? What line you're going down? And then everything I've heard about Ja Morant, and this is where we're going to get into the cultural stuff, right? Because I had heard a lot, well, that's how he grew up, and you grow up a certain way. From everything I'm understanding, that's not really the way Ja Morant grew up, right? I see you shaking your head on that.
No, I'm just shaking my head at the situation.
Yeah, and it's he grew up not in that life, and I know there's a connotation that goes with that life. There's a toughness that goes with that life. There's a perceived coolness. Is that kind of what I'm trying to go? And it's not all right. And you know, I've heard, well, there's rap videos all the time, and guys have guns and cars and girls, and okay. And I guess he was making a rap video or a video in the club, and it was on his own. It was on his own Instagram Live. The league's going to check this. The league is not going to play this game. The Memphis Grizzlies, as much as they need Ja Morant, and as good as Ja Morant is, the league, it's like, we always talk about the shield in the NFL. David Stern, the league, and it feels like everybody's behind this. I haven't heard a whole lot of people say, yeah, no, this is cool, let him play.
Because you don't need to be, even if it's your own weapon, you don't need to be at a nightclub brandishing it on your Instagram Live.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What's the point? Well,
what are you doing?
Well, what's the point? And I know this
that's
isn't my
giving
life.
into what you just said, man. Like, that's a different lifestyle that you can't be living when you're a star in the NBA. Now, there's a lot of players. I thought Jalen Rose, he spoke out on it yesterday, and he said, hey, I've been in these situations. I was a young player that made mistakes, and I was around the wrong people. And it took him time to get on track. And so players have experienced this. Ja Morant can use this as a moment to understand, like, man, if he wants, quote-unquote, security, maybe get professional dudes around you. Because right now, the people you have around you in your life are not helping you. Even if you think they might be your best friends, they're your buds. You know, it's the ride or die group.
Mhm.
They're putting you in a dangerous position right now that could take away everything that he has worked for. Because it just takes one incident, man. It just takes one bumping into someone at the club, a drink that's spilling, one of the dudes thinking someone else is looking at him the wrong way.
You're looking at my girl.
Well,
and then
and
we're
you're-
reading different headlines.
And I'm also all about if you want to carry a gun because for protection. I mean, you are a public figure, but like, why are you showing it off? Like why are you going on your Instagram live? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think those are all fair questions. And I'm gonna guess John Moran will sit down with somebody one time, you know, and explain it. I don't know the answers. See, I don't, and you don't live that life, and I don't know it. Should the Memphis Grizzlies have a? I mean, what's the nice word for babysitter? Remember, didn't Jerry Jones have that for which receiver was it?
Wasn't it
Des Bryant?
Well, wasn't it Adam Jones?
It might have been Adam Jones. It was Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac.
Yeah.
Like, but this is just. I think this is one that we all can see. With the build-up, the multiple stories now with John Morant,
right?
How close this is to being out of control, and if I think one of the conversations that you're having with John Morant, whether it's at this point even the owner of Memphis, you know, just getting him aside
Mhm.
and be like, Ja, you're gonna have friends, but you gotta understand maybe there's some people that you gotta start pushing away a little bit, or you got to tell them that if they're going to be strapped around you, probably not going to be in the best situation. Do you want to talk about, hey, maybe we can get you some professional security if this is something you feel about, if like this is what you need when you're out, we can absolutely do that. Because I don't think there's also a whole lot of people that are not necessarily NBA players that you want to see walking around in nightclubs with a weapon anyway.
I'm more concerned that he's involved in other things more than the security thing. He might be involved in other trouble, showing guns. Like I just, it's
see. I wonder if he's actually involved in that or wants you to think that, right? And I don't know. I have no idea.
And he's only 23. Think about. I mean, you forget how young. That's young.
I'm gonna throw this piece.
He's a grown man, but like,
well, he is,
young.
and he's making grown man
23.
money. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this piece at you because I think this is where it's hard, and I understand this part of it, right? Those are the guys who were with him before he was John Morant. Right, they're probably those are his guys, right? As JJ, you said, you're ride or die. It's hard to just get rid of your boys now that now you've made it. You can't hang out with us. Now you made it. Look at you, John Morant. You're too big to hang out with the guys who got you there. Remember, and I think there's an element of that. But he's got to say to them, "Hey, I can't let you bring me down. Like I'll bring you up, but you can't bring me down."
Don't you guys
for the
respect
ride.
what I've done
Right.
now? Like,
right.
Wouldn't it feel like if you had the right group of friends, that would be like the unspoken thing?
Yes.
Where they could be your guys, but they would understand, like, oh, now we got to watch out for Ja.
Yeah,
like we got to.
That way. Yeah, we got to protect our guy. Yeah.
I just hope he's not involved in deeper stuff. That's my concern.
So yeah, you said that a couple times. So what are you worried about that he's involved in? Because you might be right.
Because I don't know, and I don't know who these people are that he surrounds himself with, but maybe I'm not saying like gangs, but like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's involved in other stuff that's, I don't know how to word this, illegal or just in trouble, or I don't know.
So I mean, is there something to that? Have you heard something to that, or
no? This is just like
intuition?
things intuition, like what I'm thinking about, like the people he surrounds himself with.
Yeah, I think everybody.
And then what if he
would hope
has to stay loyal because he's involved in something else? And I'm concerned.
No, look, I mean, I guess when you
beyond trying to be cool or whatever,
Yeah,
I'm saying
when you get
he
to
might
this,
be involved in other stuff.
When you get to this level, I imagine speculation is going to run rampant, and if it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, we'll see. Then there's a basketball side, right? JJ, this was the number 2 team in the West for a long time. They've been skidding. We're headed down the stretch. Playoffs start next month.
Well, this all occurred after they lost to the Denver Nuggets.
That's right, on Friday.
And so, and by the way, John Morant, he deactivated all social media. He apologized for it, so he's not running from it. He's not trying to say that.
Well, there's nowhere to go.
We're making this bigger as media and basketball fans. I think he kind of realized that was like, oh.
What about
okay,
his dad? What about T. Morant?
Got a little over the skis in this one.
How much does Daddy have playing this, right? His dad obviously is very influential in his life. His dad is around the game all the time. His dad kind of feels, and I don't know his dad at all, and I don't know the relationship, but kind of feels like he's feeding into this whole persona. At some point, does dad have to step in here and be dad instead of his boy?
It's everyone, man. This is everyone, because this is one of those things. And we sit here and we have so many different stories of, people going at athletes going back. What did we just see happen with Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Right? And him and a bunch of dudes beating up a guy. Well, it just takes one of those situations, and then if someone does have a weapon on them, to where shots are fired and people's lives are changed forever.
All right, if you want to get in on that, it's open at 505-246-0610 because it's interesting and it's not going away, and it's going to be a big talk, and it's one of the brightest young stars in the league. And he did it to himself. This isn't, there's no, he was framed. This is the media. This is, no. Dude did this, and the NBA shut him down. For how long? When was the last time you can remember the NBA stepping in without like a illegal incident, right? Something just going, whoa, whether there was an allegation of domestic violence or something. When was the last time you can remember a league shutting a dude down simply because you're going down the wrong path? And really, that's what it is. I mean, they're trying to protect him from him. It's been a minute. When we come back, there's another NBA story I want to talk about. Marie really wanted to hit and wanted to watch Mavericks and Suns. And I know you did too. And it was a good game. And then these two superstars go nose to nose, chest to chest. What do you make of Luka and Booker jabbing? It was going chest to chest and at the end of a game. Yip, 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 yap, yap, yap. What does it mean and what will it mean? We'll get into that. Aaron Jones owns IPS, and IPS watches my home. International Protective Service. Aaron started this security company back in 2006, providing homeowners in Fort Hills the security they needed. And all these years later, homeowners and business owners all over the Bureke trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. Why? Well, because they're really, really good. Aaron's from here. Aaron's passionate about making Albuquerque a safer, a better place to live and work by watching your home, watching your business with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. They keep the bad guys away. You've worked way too hard to build what you've got. Don't let a bad guy come in there and ruin it. Protect your family, protect your business, protect your home. Call IPS. Is it affordable? It is affordable private security. I trust them. I know you can too. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken.
Well, the big one yesterday, there were a number of big ones. Lakers beat the Warriors without LeBron. Steph Curry came back yesterday. Lakers played without LeBron. Anthony Davis was big, a big win for the Lake Show in L.A. yesterday. Knicks have won 9 in a row. The big one everybody was staring at was the Suns and the Mavericks. Kevin Durant and his new team, he got 40 minutes with the Suns against Kyrie Irving and his new team, the Mavericks. Top of the West, it's going to be a showdown. It was actually really good. It was good. If you dig, March NBA, it was really good. 130 to 126. Suns win in a thriller at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. And right at the end of the game, Devin Booker was talking, and you got highlights up. And Adrian, thank you for putting those up. If you're watching us on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, you can see some highlights courtesy of ABC. Right at the end of the game, Devin Booker was talking to the referee about something you want to call on Luka. There it is, right there. And Luka gets in his face. Luka comes over to Booker and decides he's going to chest up and go nose to nose, and he's smiling. And you're watching it right now on if you're watching the simulcast, and he's smiling and laughing. Like, what the hell was that all about? Again, I'm not really sure that's Luka's of that world, man. Is that his game? And his thing afterwards would tell him, he can start talking before there's 3 seconds left in the game. Is this nothing or is this something?
This is something, and this is Luka's game. He goes at it with a lot of guys. He's very vocal.
Yeah, he's chirpy. He's chirpy.
Yeah, I don't. Just because these guys aren't throwing punches at each other, I don't think that means necessarily they're faking anything. And I really liked what Devin Booker said after the game. He's like, y'all tell us how tired you are of us being friendly and us smiling, and then so we have a moment, and now y'all got to lose your mind. And I'm like, absolutely, Devin, you are right. This is one where 2 guys. What's relax about what? They're 2 guys chirping, a couple bleep yous, move on. Like I think that's fine.
Who's losing their mind? I mean, so they react. I think.
A lot of the old heads.
Oh yeah, they're like in the 90s or the 80s. They actually played defense and fighting and is more physical.
So I like that there was a little something late in the game.
Well, also
chirping back and forth. Well, Devin was just
was
just going at Luka.
It's fun.
Because Luka missed a shot and Luka pushed off at the same time.
Yeah.
And so he was going right at him, and he's like, I was talking to the referee. No, you were trying to get under Luka's skin, because that's the thing with Luka, though.
And you
can get under his skin a little bit. He is a little feisty at the end, and I like that for these teams, that there's something there, because post game they immediately went to, it's a game, we understand it, we're gonna go toe to toe, and this is the kind of stuff you like, where it's not, hey, we're gonna carry this over, it's gonna be petty to be petty. It's just in the moment, couple guys going at it toe to toe, because that's what you want to see. You want to see that fire. And I thought it was interesting too, because this was a game where it was Kevin Durant versus Kyrie Irving after the trades, everything that went down in Brooklyn, and those dudes didn't even really acknowledge each other. And so, like, okay, we just got a nice fiery basketball game between the Mavs and Suns. I'll take it.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, and they, you know, they played in the playoffs last year, but like, Luka, though, I mean, Booker said that he did not make it. He doesn't like. He has nothing against Luka on a personal level. He's not surprised at all that there's some smoke given their competitive nature against each other.
Yeah, he said, you guys don't want everybody to be friendly. Here you go. We got some smoke. I don't know. I saw anybody losing their mind. Maybe just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But I think they're going to acknowledge it. It's like, relax. So you guys did it. Somebody's going to ask you about it. Of course, that's going to come up. You went face to face. Two superstars go nose to nose and are laughing. Nobody threw a punch. Nobody
close
did anything
game.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, they're going to ask you about it, and you kind of instigated it. You chirped. He chirped. They went belly to belly, chest to chest, beak to beak. Yeah, somebody's going to ask. I don't know if anybody lost their mind. I don't think it's a big deal either, by the way. I think I was entertained by it. I thought it was good. I laughed at it a little bit. And started thinking, gosh, who would win that fight? If someone started throwing hands, who's going to win? I think my money might be on Luka.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And then you get, well, never mind. But that was, I mean, I don't know. Is it good for the league? Is it good for talk? You're talking NBA. And I don't
know, Luka doesn't look a lot bigger when they're standing toe to toe, really.
Yeah, they were thicker, I'm thinking. But yeah, no, I mean, not taller, but yeah, when Adrian just showed that they were face to face, nose to nose, I mean, they were right at it. Booker at 36, by the way. Good hoops. Who's your favorite in the West? Now that you kind of seen what they look like a little bit with Kevin Durant playing 40 minutes, you see what the Mavs look like 7, 8, 9 games in. Lakers are starting to look like they do. You know what the Nuggets are. No John Morant. Sacramento's still trying to hang around. I mean, this is the West right now. Remember when I asked you earlier today, who's the all-conference team of the Mountain West? It's like, there's a lot of different ways you can go. I mean, you got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, Phoenix, Golden State, Minnesota as first 6, but it feels wide open. I mean, and you can go 5, 6 ways, but tell me who your favorite is.
I don't think Sacramento's that team yet. They've been unbelievable, but postseason, 3 rounds, 7 games, I don't think they have the depth to get it done. They got a really good starting lineup, Sabonis and Fox, with Barnes and Kevin Huerter in that rotation. Really good rookie in Keegan Murray, but I think they're not there when it comes to the rotation players needed to get through a long series. To me, it's Phoenix and the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are that good, and they have the rotation. They have a superstar player in Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray is just getting better and better, playing more games, playing back-to-backs after suffering that ACL injury. And they have the rotation players. They went out and got a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's been on championship teams before. Bruce Brown to be on the wing. You still got Aaron Gordon. You got Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. And then Phoenix, because Kevin Durant's that guy. And you pair him with Devin Booker, a role for CP3 that is perfect for Chris Paul in his career. He doesn't have to be a number 2 scoring option. He can be the 4th scoring option, even behind DeAndre Ayton. And the wild card for the Suns is just Ayton. If he's able to stay locked in defensively, because he's not getting touches, he's not getting a lot of looks when you have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on the floor, but then they can just get him enough, that could be a big piece for them defensively, because he's the guy that, Amory mentioned that series we saw last year. He wasn't able to stay on the floor, and the Mavericks came back and won that series. And so he is the X factor for that team, and I think it's Nuggets, Suns, 2 best teams in the Western Conference.
And they need to stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, these 2 teams, that's going to be the finals.
I want to see what Golden State looks like when they put it together. I'm just not ready to count.
Can't ever
champions
sleep on
out.
them.
Yeah, I just champions are hard to knock out.
Mm-hmm.
Champions know how to play late. Steph Curry came back yesterday, first game back. He missed
Healthy.
a lot of open shots at the end. You figure he's going to get that back. I'm not going to count Golden State out. I know where they are in the standings, but I'm going to just tell you matchups. Like if you tell me they match up against Sacramento or even the Lakers, Minnesota, I'm not going to count them out. I want to watch what they become over the last. Now they got to learn how to win away from home. They've just got to. They got the second worst road record in the NBA, which is stunning for the defending champs. They got to learn to win away. But I'm not going to count Golden State out yet either.
And stay healthy.
Yeah, and stay healthy. I mean, flat out. All right, stay with us. Coming up in about 16 minutes, right at 8 o'clock. Lobo guard Jamal Mashburn Jr. is going to be with us. I anticipate him being named first team All-Mountain West today. But as the conference tournament starts on Wednesday, we're going to talk to Jamal about where the team is. How did they respond after losing Friday and finding out that they've got to play in that first round? And what's it going to take for Lobo basketball from his point of view, from a player's point of view, to go to Vegas, turn this thing on, and get to the NCAA tournament? That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Hey, business owners, are your computers and networks secure? You sure? Like, really sure? Call ABQ IT. You've got to know your system is protected from hackers and cybercrime. A gap in your cybersecurity could do major damage to your business, and the threat is real. ABQ IT provides you a thorough look at your computer security. They'll tell you where you are at risk. ABQ IT created a business model designed to protect you from malicious threats. Keep your computers up to date, and they do it at one affordable monthly cost. And you need to know this. By June 9th of this year, many of you are going to have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. It's the FTC Safeguards Rule. Your business may face penalties if you are not compliant by that deadline. With ABQ IT, you'll be prepared. There's no hourly rate or labor billing. There's no hidden fees. Your rate's predictable. It will not change. And you've got to protect your business because it's flat out not worth the risk of hoping, of thinking bad things will not happen to you. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit them online at abq-it.com, abq-it.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11-4, 38. 11
Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Looking at some of the stats of the Mountain West Conference, because we're expecting the all-conference teams to come out today for men's basketball. Lobos will play on Wednesday against Wyoming in the first round. And Jamal Mashburn, the leading scorer in the league, is going to be with us coming up here in about 9 minutes. Lobo guard Jamal Mashburn. JJ, did you realize the Lobos had 3 of the top 8 scorers in the conference in conference play?
Yeah, it's pretty good with that backcourt and Mo.
Mashburn led the league, and these are just conference games. 21 points. Jalen House was 5th at 17.1, and Morris Udeze was 8th at 15.9 points per game. Mo led the league in double-doubles. Is he going to end up second team, Udeze? Udeze and House? I mean, look, this is a 6th-place team.
Yeah, you can't have 2 or 3 players on first team all conference and be the 6th seed. Like, it's...
Lost you. Did I just completely lose him? I see his mouth moving. All right. What he's saying is you can't have 3 guys on the first team when you're the 6th seed, and he's not wrong. Mashburn, I was just looking at the numbers, and your leading scorer in the league is Jamal Mashburn Jr. And then Elijah Harkless from UNLV is second. They were, the 7th or 8th seed? Omari Moore from the 5th seed, San Jose State, is 3rd. Colorado State, Isaiah Stevens is 4th. Jalen House is 5th. So the first player, this is stunning, okay? And give me a heads up when you think you're back, because I could see you, JJ, but I just couldn't hear you. This is stunning. If you look, so the top 5 teams got a bye, okay? 1 San Diego State, 2 Boise State, 3 Utah State, 4 Nevada, and 5 San Jose State. Out of the top 10 scorers in the league, only 4 of them were from those 5 best teams. It's insane. It really is. And then you say, all right, well, what about San Diego State, who won the thing? Their top scorer is 15th in the league. It says a ton about what they did. And so if you want to have a conversation about Brian Dutcher being Coach of the Year, you can, because they did it as a team at San Diego State. But when you look at most leagues, you're going to have the best player from the best team. And San Diego State won this thing by 2 games. But you're going to have the best player from the best team in the top 2, 3, certainly 5 in scoring. This league, and this goes to how deep and how good this league was. Matt Bradley was 15th in scoring in the league. That's the best player from the best team at San Diego State. I remember when Steve Alford was on with us, about 3-4 weeks ago, right before Nevada and New Mexico played in the pit. And he made this point, and many others have made this point. But this league's different. You take some of the bottom teams in the league, Wyoming, Colorado State, and they got first-team all-conference caliber players. Hunter Maldonado from Wyoming, who is the 11th seed out of 11 teams, is the 7th leading scorer in the league. Isaiah Stevens from that Colorado State team who finished, 9th? He's the 4th leading scorer in the league. You got guys everywhere that can erupt. So it's going to be really interesting to see when they pick out all conference teams and who's on those teams today. And JJ, I don't know if you're back with me or not, but I give it a shot. Talk to me. Yeah, I guess not. So we've lost his audio. We've just lost his audio. But when you look at it and you start going through this league in its entirety, it's why this conference tournament's going to be so good. That's why you had the guys on the CBS Sports Desk the other day going, well, we're going to Vegas. Let's just go to Vegas and watch the Mountain West. And they didn't say, let's go to Vegas and watch the West Coast Conference. It was, let's go to Vegas and watch the Pac-12, which, by the way, can be really good. UCLA, Arizona the other day was really nice, man. I mean, if you want to catch some UCLA or Arizona State and SC while you're in Vegas, it's not a bad idea. Yeah. Oregon will be a fun watch. Go
place to be if you're a basketball fan.
But this is the tournament that people are going, wow, this could be spectacular. Now, how often do things live up to what we say they are? How often do things live up to the hype? I mean, not all the time. But I got to believe, even the first round games, when you look at what's going on and you say, okay, first round games, and they should be pretty fun. Let's get a look at it. I mean, I'm excited. Starts off on Wednesday. It'll be noon our time. Fresno State, Colorado State. That's a good game. The next game in the afternoon, Air Force and UNLV. And then 5 o'clock our time, 4 o'clock there. 4 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Mountain time. New Mexico and Wyoming to get things started. You'll be able to watch it, and this is one that's going to, boys and girls, don't start yelling at JJ and me the day after. Figure out now, if you haven't yet, how to watch the Mountain West Network. It's very easy. You go to themw.com. That's it, themw.com. Click on the watch thing. It's right there at the top. That's how you're going to be able to watch the game on Wednesday. After that, it'll be on CBS Sports Network. Don't try to go tell yourself on Wednesday, I can't watch. No, you can't. You're just going to have to figure out how to stream the game. Jamal Mashburn, leading scorer in the Mountain West Conference. How do the Lobos turn this thing around, and what is the mindset of the players after getting beat in Fort Collins? Talk to the league's leading scorer next. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and A. Marie on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Outlet.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is The Opening Drive with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Bach.
4 o'clock in the afternoon in Vegas on Wednesday. The Mountain West Conference Tournament will start for the Lobos. Lobos is the 6th seed in the Mountain West Conference. Will take on the 11th seed, the Wyoming Cowboys. Two teams split this season. Lobos winning in Laramie, and the Cowboys winning in the pit. It's the Opening Drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your calls in just a little bit. J.J.'s in Vegas. I'll be there on Wednesday for the Mountain West Conference Tournament. League all-conference teams will be announced today. I got to believe our next guest will be first-team all-league. He was the leading scorer in the Mountain West Conference and just completed his junior year. Jamal Mashburn Jr. joins us this morning on the Opening Drive. Good morning, Jamal. How you living?
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me. I'm living good, man. Can't complain.
Appreciate you getting up early for us and doing this. I guess the biggest thing that everybody's been asking is, all right, where is the team? Coach Patino talks a lot. Every once in a while you get to hear from different guys in a setting. But you've had a couple days to come off the regular season and you're headed to Vegas. Where is this team right now in regards to, can you win 4? How do you win 4 in a row in 4 days and get to that ultimate goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the pulse of the team is very confident. We've seen every team in the Mountain West, and we were able to compete, and we know what we can do. When we focus on ourselves and when we, just focus on the things we can get better at and the things that we can control, we're in a pretty good position to beat all these teams in the conference. So we just got to stick to what we know and continue to get better. We're blessed to have these couple of days to get prepared and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're confident that we can win 4. We're very confident.
Defensively, it's been an issue. And Colorado State shot 58%. And, I mean, sometimes the other guys just score, right? Sometimes you're playing defense and they shoot and they have a great night. And other nights you look at the tape and you go, man, we got to be better. What do you think it is? Because everybody's got a theory. Oh, they got to go zone, or they got to do this, or their guards are too small, or they can't guard the perimeter. From your respect, when you look at it and coach – and you guys sit in the room and you look at the video, what do you have to do defensively? Because, I mean, you'll acknowledge you, as a team, got to be better defensively.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, honestly, it's basketball. I mean, people will score. People are so good at this level. I mean, we got to give all these teams credit. They're preparing the same way we're preparing with scouting, and, there's pressure on the coaching staff and on the players. So, I mean, it's basketball. I mean, it's going to happen. People are going to get scored on. We got to get better at that end, obviously, for sure. But, it's nothing more than just, having more of a defensive mindset. I mean, I think that starts in the summer. And when we all first get here, I think, in years to come and next year, we got to set that tone from July 1st, where we're not getting scored on and we're hitting bodies and boxing out and communicating with each other. we have such a great offense. I mean, we kind of get lost in that. I think we're top 20 in the net in offense. So I think we kind of get lost in that. But I mean, if we get better at that defensive end, we'll be right where we want to be. In this program, we'll be right where it needs to be.
He's Lobo guard Jamal Mashburn. He's with us this morning on the Sports Animal.
Jamal, with 2 new players in the starting lineup, we've got Mo and Josiah. What's impressed you the most about what you guys have been able to do as a group coming together, to hit such high expectations in year 1 with this group together?
I think, they've really benefited a lot, just from the freedom that Coach allows them to play with, with Josiah and Mo. Mo is a terrific offensive player that, when he gets that ball in the block, I mean, it's hard to stop him. You got to double him. So, that creates driving lanes, open kick-out threes for dudes that don't really get them. So it opened up a lot of stuff for our team. I mean, and they were able to come in and just contribute right away. I mean, that's hard to do when it's transfers and, they got pressure of being seniors and stuff like that. So I'm really proud of them. And they stepped up to the plate, and I know that they'll step up to the plate in Vegas when we really need them, because that's what this team's all about, just stepping up.
Jamal, when we've had the opportunity to speak with you, you have a really good mindset about the day-to-day work, what it takes to develop your game and move on. And when you look at this team in conference play, you've been right there. You've had some losses, just gut punches at the buzzer. What do you learn from those games? What do you try to take away, that you put in your toolbox to where you can get better from every experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's just at this point in my career, it's about, the small details, and just the little details to make big differences in those big games. I mean, I look back at those games, those gut punching games that you said, at the buzzer. There was little things in that game that we could have done and that I could have done to kind of shorten that gap and maybe we wouldn't be in a position to give the team the last shot or we got to get a stop in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's the little details that I try to focus on now and throughout this course of the season to make a big impact on, the rest of the game. And I think that's what I'm learning this year, and that's what, it's going to continue to fold over into next year.
He is the monster of the mid-range. Jamal Mashburn Jr. joins us this morning on the opening drive. When did you realize the mid-range was so important? You've been acknowledged by so many of these guys. I've watched both CBS and Fox and call you the best mid-range shooter in America. And maybe that's true. And obviously that's something you've worked on. And guys today, everybody wants to shoot the three, and you can. Everybody wants to get to the hole, and you can. But the way you've mastered, and I thought the monster of the mid-range is what you are, because you've decided to go to work and make that part of your game.
Yeah, I'm new in that area. I came out the womb. I mean, my dad, when he first started me out, when he was training me and stuff like that, he didn't allow me to shoot a three for the first 2 years of my career. For the first 2 years playing basketball, he was like, "Man, no, you can't shoot threes. You're not strong enough. We gotta develop it." And there was a process behind it that I didn't see and I didn't understand when I was young. When I was young, I was just going through it and just working hard, and I wanted to be like my dad so bad, so I just was like, well, let's do it. But, it was something that developed over time, and I just got naturally comfortable with it. And now it's developed, and I'm going to continue to master it. And it's just something that always been a part of my game, always.
Yeah, and a big part. Another thing that's going to happen around here, and we talked about it with you early in the season. You and Jalen were going to be linked. You came in together. You are one of the best backcourts in America. And I've said I think Jamal Mashburn's one of the best players I've seen around here in a long time, and I think Jalen House is as dynamic as I've seen. What is he like? Because I know a lot of people get I don't know, up in arms and vocal. Talk about what Jalen's meant to this team and what you've learned, and just talk about playing with him, because the two of you have formed as good a backcourt as there is in certainly the West.
Definitely. I mean, man, that's my that's one of my best friends. I mean, he's a great person first and foremost. I mean, before we get to a player. I mean, he's just, what you guys see out there, all the energy, he has all that off the court as well. Constantly joking around, constantly having great energy, just picking dudes up and making sure everybody feels good. And that's what a point guard's supposed to do. That's what he's such a great point guard. I mean, his vision and his speed is just unmatched. Like you said, like he's the most dynamic guard I've played with in my whole career. High school, AAU, whatever it may be. I mean, he's got all the tools. And he defensively, I can learn so much from him as far as pressuring the ball, picking up the ball, getting my hands and active hands. He's such a great player. I'm happy that I can share the backcourt with him. That I wouldn't trade anybody else to do it with. He's a worker. I know he's gonna play for a lot of money. Whenever his college career is over. So I'm happy to have him here.
Just a few more minutes with the monster of the mid-range. Jamal Mashburn's with us this morning on the opening drive.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Jamal, you hear the stories about the pit. What's it been like to play in a sold-out arena and just the energy and emotion that comes from being a Lobo when that building is full of Lobo fans?
Oh man, I mean, I get speechless, honestly. I mean, every time we go to the intros and we're in warm-ups or I'm just getting my mind right, just trying to keep my mind at a calm and peaceful place. It's hard to because I'm looking around and I just see everybody, and the whole thing is packed and everybody's having so much energy. You get goosebumps. It's kind of like a video game feeling, and it's just it's really surreal. I mean, I've never played in an atmosphere like this. Besides, I want to say I didn't even have an atmosphere in high school. I mean, this is one of the best atmospheres I think I'll ever get to play. Unless if the NBA has better fans than the Pit. I don't even know. I think they're right on par. I mean, they show up. They're loud. When we get on a run and we we're scoring and getting stops, man, we can't even hear each other standing side by side. So it's their energy is impeccable.
Jamal, what does the individual stuff mean to you? You were the leading scorer in the league, so you won the scoring crown. I got to believe you're going to be first team all league when that's announced today. And I know you're going to tell me about the team stuff and the goals, and I believe you. Like when you say the goal is to get to the NCAA tournament, but there's got to be some satisfaction in if you are first team, which I mean it would be criminal if you're not, and you've won the scoring championship in this league.
I mean, all that stuff is great, and God has blessed me to be in the position to win those kinds of individual stuff, which is amazing. But it's just a testament to just my work and just showing up every day and just doing the things that people don't see and people don't give me credit for. I'm very business oriented, and I've always been like that since I was young. And that's off the court too. That's with school. That's with relationships, friendships. All that. Because I hold everything at a high standard. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, all those things are just a testament to my work, and all of that is just really fueling me just to get to the ACLA tournament and for us to be in a position to win at the highest level and just I want all these guys to succeed. I want everybody on my team to succeed and be in a position to be an all-conference player and feel that love because when you put in the work and you get rewarded for it, it's a different kind of feeling.
All starts tomorrow. Or Wednesday, I'm sorry. You go tomorrow. It all starts Wednesday. You play a Wyoming team that beat you in the Pit. And normally, well, not normally, sometimes you play the last place team in the league and you figure, all right, we're just going to walk through this in the conference tournament. They beat you. They got Maldonado. You know that they've got weapons. So certainly your eyes are open. You can't win on Saturday if you don't win on Wednesday.
Right. I mean, all these important. We're not looking at, the seeding and who was last place in the league. Every team in this league can beat any team in this league. I mean, really, people got, like you said, they got Maldonado, who's playing well. And, sad Graham Ike wasn't able to be with them this season. Hopefully he gets healthy and gets back to the player he was because he's tremendous. But yeah, I mean, we can't take it lightly at all. I mean, these are all important games. I mean, we sadly didn't get the bye, so we got to win 4. And, you know, that's what's at stake, and that's what we're going to do.
It's always one of my favorite conversations, Jamal. Safe travels to Vegas. We'll see you out there, and congratulations on a terrific season. Keep it going. I know Lobo fans are hoping for a deep run, hoping to keep the band together and do it again. But always appreciate the conversation. Safe travels.
Oh, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Be well. He is the monster of the mid-range. He is Jamal Mashburn Jr. When we come back, there was something in there. I don't know if you caught it. There was something in there that I think Lobo fans should feel, I don't know, a little encouraged about. I'll tell you what that is next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico youth sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
M610, the sports animal.
Appreciate MASH being with us. Richard Pitino is going to be with us tomorrow at 8 o'clock. The Lobo men's basketball coach. We'll talk to him about what he's got to do to get his team ready, win 4 in 4 days. And I'll ask him, let him answer the question that you all have been asking. And you know, we can answer it all you want, but tomorrow we'll ask Richard, explain to you, the defensive piece. And so many people, why don't they go zone? We'll let Richard talk about that and explain that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Okay, JJ, there's so much in there with MASH. He is one of my favorite Lobos to speak with over the years. He is so mature yet candid, well-spoken, well thought out. And there's something in there that, I don't know, did you catch this? That I think Lobo fan might be able to be excited about when we're talking about defense a little bit. And he said it's something that starts early. It starts in the summer. Mm-hmm. And he said, next July when we all get here, we gotta start focusing on that, which to me went, whoa, you're going to be here next July? Like, I know there's no promises, and MASH is a junior, and is there a chance he, goes somewhere and goes pro early or whatever? But I think that if I don't know, what I heard there was very encouraging for Lobo fan.
Yeah, I definitely heard him slip that in there. It's interesting, too, the way he talked about Jalen potentially making millions. A lot of money. So that door is wide open for these guys, and they've earned it. They've elevated themselves to a certain point in their basketball career where they've been really good on the floor for New Mexico. They still got a lot to play for, and they're going to have opportunities in a post-collegiate career to do some stuff that's really interesting. But, too, for me, speaking with Jamal Mashburn, like, all these players work so hard. But there's a difference kind of when you see it's not just the necessarily professional dads, Eddie House, Jamal Mashburn Sr. I sometimes see a lot with Amaya Brown, the women's basketball team. Of course, her dad was Greg Brown, really good basketball player at UNM. And you just see at times a different way that some of these players carry themselves. I guess, when they kind of grow up around basketball as, when maybe one of your parents played it at a certain level. Because the way I describe it for Amaya Brown is she kind of has a professional mindset about things. When you see the way that she carries herself, the way she's warming up pregame, it's not that other players aren't warming up. You just kind of just sense a little different, with some of those players just because they've been doing it a certain way for so long.
I think there might be some guys who may have, I don't know, different expectations, right? I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to, name names. Some guys know they're not going to be pros, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a good, solid college basketball player. Hell, most people who said, I played college basketball, that's a great level. And then there's some who know they are going to be pros, right? And then there's others who are hoping to be pros. But the guys who know they're going to be pros, and I don't know if that means NBA, but Jamal Mashburn's going to make money playing basketball somewhere. Jalen House is going to make money playing basketball somewhere. And I think there's a different something to them. And those two individuals who grew up around guys who played in the NBA, who made money playing basketball, probably had that work ethic instilled in them from the beginning. Mash talks about his dad, and I think this is genius. And all the credit is a basketball dad to Jamal Sr., right? It'd have been easy to look, he's smaller. He's got to be able to shoot the three. No. You can't shoot a three. You're not shooting threes. You're not big enough. And Mash said, I wasn't allowed to shoot threes. And so he, by necessity, right, had to learn the mid-range game. And he is as good, and this isn't hyperbole. Look, every dang commentator who does a game, and I don't care if it's on CBS Sports or on Fox, talks about his mid-range and says he is as good or maybe the best mid-range player in America. Now, there may be some who are bigger, but at 6 feet, 6'1", whatever.
I'm pretty sure that they've referenced stats, and I bet, Richard Pitino or someone knows it. Like, there's stats that track where players score the basketball. I'm pretty sure that Mash is, like, the leading in the country
in the
mid-range buckets.
Yeah, and what is mid-range? Mid-range is 10 to 18, 10 to 22, I think. 10, right? 10 to 22 from, like, 10 or 12 feet out to the arc. And he appreciates that part of the game. Lobos are one of the in regards to stats, 3-point shots attempted, one of the lower at the lower end of the stats of the nation, but yet they're top 20 in scoring, right? And it just shows the appreciation for it. So I thought that was interesting. We're going to Vegas. JJ's there for the ladies tonight. I'll be there on Wednesday. And again, thank you to these partners who make sure that we get there every single year to bring this to you, to bring you the content during tournament week. New Mexico Look, the best in New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel. Rich Ford celebrating 62 years at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. Coleman Vision, perfect game. And California Closets, custom closets, systems, and solutions for the whole home. The other thing, JJ, I thought that was really interesting and his perspective on Jalen House. And he said he's my best friend and he's my guy, but he agrees with me. He's the most dynamic player we've seen around here in a while and understands what it is. Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. And I don't think there's that much bad with House. I know that you feel sometimes he's erratic, and that's fine. He has been sensational for this team. And the energy that he brings obviously was essential because when he wasn't there, they got blown out by 2 inferior teams.
Yeah, and I think if there's anyone you want to listen to, it's Jamal Mashburn talking about Jalen House.
Yeah. And that's why I asked it.
Because of the mindset, the way everything we just said. Mash knows basketball, knows what it takes to be on the court. And I don't think there's one Lobo on this roster that would say, yeah, you know what? We don't want Jalen House in tight situations. We don't want Jalen House being Jalen House. Now, there might be plenty of fans out there that will say that because it's happened, and don't try to act like it hasn't happened. There's been faction out there. But that's what you get. And I think with the energy and the emotion of this season, that's why I do think that there's a lot of frustration right now, even going into Mountain West, knowing that there's so much to play for, but also why, like, Richard Pitino has already started to playing the NIT is not a bad game. Like, playing postseason basketball is not a bad thing, just because you just see the level that some of these players in this team can play to.
Lewis, good morning. You want to talk a little about basketball. How you doing, Lewis? You're on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, I got a couple things here. First of all, on the Mashburn thing, I heard that too, what you heard. But when he said it, and you might want to go back and listen to it, I don't think he was Lobo specific when he said that.
Fair enough.
I think he just said something about next year, what I got to do next year. I don't think it was specifically for the Lobos. So I know what you're saying, and I heard that, and it perked my ears up. I go, okay, good. But then I realized what he didn't say with the Lobos or here at New Mexico. He didn't say anything like that. So go back and listen to that. But
yeah, I do want to do that.
He knows he's playing. He knows he's playing basketball somewhere next year. He'll be playing basketball the next 20 years in his life. So we know that. So
yep.
Take a look at that. But I heard that. That sounded pretty good.
Right,
as far as the thing with House, I totally agree with you guys that I would take that guy 100 times out of 100 times, regardless of all the, crap that's going around, people saying about him. The only thing that concerns me is maybe, before you guys started talking about it, about the faction of fans that are upset, I never really heard that from anybody. And I talk to a lot, I'm a sports fan. My friends are sports fans. I know a lot of sports fans. I never really heard that very much. But the more you guys talk about it, I wonder if you're sort of inflaming the situation just by talking about it. Because I really don't hear very many people really talking about it. I'm wondering if
Lawrence, here and here's where it's come from. It's been a lot of social media because I hadn't heard it a lot either until JJ kind of turned me on to it, and then I'm like, whoa, it's there, and I saw it. I think it's a vocal minority. I really do. And I appreciate your comment. Thanks. I think it's a vocal minority. I don't think we're stoking the flames, JJ. And you guys both.
We are not stoking.
I get it after every game.
Do you?
Like even if it's a minority, it's there. Like it's one that I think you poll most people, and they're still going to be on the side of Jalen House. I think it's the balance though of it's fair to break down these players' games. You know, there's going to be criticism involved even at the collegiate level, especially more so now that the game's kind of changed with the way we see NIL, transfer portal. But it's not wrong to point out some people have just lost their mind about Jalen House. I still think the majority are on board with him. But it's what comes with it. And you're playing at UNM, you're getting everyone's attention. There's life back in that building. I'm Team Jalen House because I think the way he plays, he has to be that way at times, to be overly aggressive, to make up for some of the things that he just doesn't have, like an extra couple of inches. That's not coming at it anywhere. But I think it's benefited the Lobos absolutely more than it's hurt them this season.
All right, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at 9 o'clock. Spring game tonight for football. It is. Does he have a quarterback? I know you're asking that. We will certainly ask him who's his number one quarterback and what you can expect, why you should go out for Monday Night Football tonight.
I have been telling you about 377 Brewery, and the events just keep getting better and better at 377 Brewery. If you haven't been to 377 Brewery, I'm telling you, you have to go. It's a brewery with a big, beautiful event space. They have a renovated patio that's covered, heated. It's so nice. All season long, I was throwing Lobo home pre-games, and now there's much more. There's live music, there's brunch, and this Friday we are doing stand-up comedy. Friday, March 10th, starting at 7 p.m. The doors open. Show starts at 7:30. You're going to see some of Albuquerque's best local talent, Sarah Kennedy, Chuck Parker, and Steph Darnell. It's going to be awesome. It's only $10, and there is full kitchen drink with the show too. So come out, keep supporting local. 377 is awesome. They love supporting local too, and they are local. So come out, support local. They are conveniently located on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. Check them out today or Friday, every day, 11 to 11, or Sunday they close at 10. And or check them out at 377brewery.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We hopping this week. State basketball tournament is underway. First rounds happened on campus sites last week, and then they take over to Pitt, Ray Rancho Event Center this week. I got to call. I got a call Friday night. I out of the bullpen. They called in the lefty JJ. I got to do a first round game. Academy beat Goddard in a 116 game by 30 the other night. That was a game A. Marie and I did last year. But they were impressive. A lot of chalk. That's a few fun. Dark shirts women winning on the boys' side, like La Cueva. Hope Christian had a struggle this week. Yeah, really good stuff over the weekend. It was fun, and so it's a big time around here. JJ's the busiest guy in broadcasting. What did you do, 4 baseball games over the weekend? 3. Lobos are 9-2 in baseball. Yes. And they're going on the road this week, but they're pretty impressive, and they can pitch a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's still, as you know all about the offense, 2 of the wins, 2 of the 3 games I did, run roll victories for the Lobos. at 20 spot. Last game 17-8, game one of the doubleheader. So there's still moments, you can get to this pitching staff. The top of the rotation's pretty good. Egloff he's their ace. He's the dude that they're going to be throwing every Friday. Lively is pretty good. I think Jackson could end up being their third best pitcher. But as it is, the depth, it's all right. You get 5-6 innings out of those guys. Yeah. How are you going to close out a game?
No, they're off and running. All right, 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also our text line. You can text there. You can email the sports animal at jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, jj@sportsanimалabq.com. Hello, David. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
A couple of questions. I heard that the Big Ten is realigning competition. Like they play 3 teams every year and then 6 off and on. Yeah. And the 3 teams that they're looking to play every year would ultimately put UCLA against Ohio State and then USC against Michigan. And the question that I have, first off, is how does lack of divisions ultimately let the teams make their own schedule to include profiling TV exposure, and how would that affect visibility or selection for playoff number 1? And for realignment purposes, like if San Diego State and other teams were to leave the Mountain West, how would that make their ultimate conferences, be it the Big 12 or the Pac-12, equally more visible? And as far as the third question, when it comes to advancement of teams into the tournament, how much money does each school get per unit that the conference teams go into the NCAA tournament? Say last year, if all teams advanced to the Mountain West, how much money does each school get per each school's advancement? Right. I guess they're called units.
Yeah. All right, David. No, I appreciate that. I'll answer them off the air. So first off, the division thing, and JJ, work with me on this because this is where everybody seems to be going in football, to getting rid of divisions. Their intent is to get their 2 best teams in their conference championship game to ensure that their best teams get into the playoff. Now, because, like in the Big Ten this year, I think you had a 7-5 team in who was it even that came out of the West? It was Michigan against, was it North?
Was it Purdue?
It was Purdue. Yeah, it was Purdue. And so if Purdue would have beat them, it would have knocked them out of the playoff. And so they're trying to avoid that. Now, in regards to, he asked about scheduling and exposure, there's still the Big Ten is going to still schedule those games for TV. They're going to have, I think they're playing a 9-game conference schedule, which means they're still going to have 3 that they can schedule outside of conference for exposure and television.
Yeah, playing divisions or non-divisions has nothing to do with the media deal. Just about the schedule. The media deals are in place. It's like if San Diego State were to go to the Big 12, they have the Big 12 rights deal with whoever's running their games. Doesn't change anything at that point.
Yeah. I'm not sure I understood his question on realignment. So if San Diego State goes to the Pac-12, or what's their access going to be? Is that kind of where it was? I mean, if San Diego State or Colorado State was mentioned in an article I saw yesterday, if the Pac-12, I saw an article yesterday, the Pac-12 is looking at 4 schools. San Diego State and SMU seriously, peripherally at Colorado State, and it didn't name the 4th school. Now, I'm going to guess it probably is Gonzaga for basketball, but I don't know that. And the Big 12, it was made clear very clearly the other day, is wooing the 4 corner schools to pull them. But wherever they end up, it's going to be about television exposure. You're going to have plenty of television exposure. I was flipping around. What was Mississippi State? I mean, it might have even been Thursday night last week, JJ. What was that?
Oh, the game they lost to Vanderbilt?
Yeah, that's the one. That was Saturday. They were on the they lost to Vanderbilt. But you go around, man, every game's on TV. And you're going to complain on Wednesday that you have to go to the Mountain West Network to catch the Lobos on Wednesday. But, dude, between ESPN ESPN2, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, CBS Sportsnet, SEC Network, ACC Network, Big Ten's primary, Big Ten secondary, and then ABC, Fox, and CBS. There were probably 13 games that you could have watched on your basic cable package on Saturday afternoon at any given time, right? I mean, CBS had a game. ABC had a game, Fox had a game, FS1. I mean, whether it's women's games, you could watch Army versus Colgate, you could watch Mississippi State versus Vanderbilt, and so the exposure is going to be there. and I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was. He asked about the units, and so the quick and dirty on this is every game a team plays in the NCAA tournament is worth 1 unit. And the 2022, that was last year. I don't see data on this year's, but last year the units were worth $338,887 paid to the conference of the participating school. And each unit has a 6-year shelf life, meaning 1 unit this season is worth $2,033,000 overall. So each round you advance to your conference, and you get more than everybody else does, but everybody shares, is $2,033,000. So just say $2 million per round for your league. It's significant for this league, isn't it? You get a team or two to the Sweet 16?
Very.
It's a big freaking deal. No. So hopefully that answers you just a little bit. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We need to talk about John Bones Jones. When we return, John was back in the ring. Is he the greatest of all time? Boy, there sure is an argument for that after taking all that time off and then coming back and doing what he did there. That's something else. We'll talk about that when we return. How's your car looking? Filthy? No, I understand. I understand, man. When it gets to be like that and it gets, mine is too, by the way. And I'm waiting until I get back from Vegas to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. But I am going to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. What do? They detail your vehicle wherever and whenever it is available for you. So that means they come to you. You mean you don't go to them? No, Jeff. I don't know where their office is. They know where mine is. That's what matters. They clean it, scrub it, wax it, inside, outside. When they're done, it looks like the day they took it off the lot. Remember how clean it was, how fun it was to drive? That's what they do. Do it at your convenience. Ask them about wax, a new coat of wax as you head into the summer months, because that's important for you. And they also give a 10% discount to our military. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It's also a great gift. A great gift. Nobody will not love this. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, 505-859-2859. That's 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early. I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday.
The National Football League, and it's a quarterback story. ESPN's Catherine Terrell is reporting that the Saints have emerged as the front runners to sign Derek Carr, and an agreement, according to Adam Schefter, could be reached as early as today. The Saints were 7-10 last year. They were amongst three teams, the Jets, them, and the Panthers, who have pursued Carr for several weeks. And it looks like the 31-year-old may end up in New Orleans, according to this report. Surprise to you?
No.
No, it's happening. He's signing a 4-year deal.
So you got numbers on it? 4 years at what?
I don't know. Rap Sheet saying it's a 4-year deal for Carr to go to the Saints. I don't know the numbers on it. It's not surprising. The big thing here is, does that mean Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets?
Well, I don't know that it does mean that. I just don't know
Could
that
open that door. I
mean, it doesn't mean that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the Jets. I just don't know that this means that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets.
No.
It
makes sense for Derek Carr, who stays in the climate-controlled atmosphere playing at the Saints. Right now they're the favorite to win that division because they're the only team that has a quarterback that can actually win a game at the NFL level on a consistent basis.
Well, they got a young receiver in Olave, right? I don't know if Michael Thomas is ever going to be back, but they've got Kamara, who's a running back if he's playing, and I don't know if he's going to be in jail or if he's not. But you figure, okay, they got a decent offensive line, a decent defense. Yes. And Olave is a stud. Okay. I don't have a problem with it. And you said something that I think is not to be lost. I think the climate control is an issue, man. And I told you this a couple of weeks ago. When you look at Derek Carr's numbers in climate, in weather, in bad weather, it's not great. Now, it's not a huge sample size, but I think he's better off playing in this division where most of the games are played in good weather.
week, but they were 7-10 last year. You think Derek Carr, 10-7, 11-6, go to the playoffs, see what you can do.
All right, so that's going down this morning, and multiple reports now that Derek Carr is going to be a New Orleans Saints. All right, did you see Bones Jones over the weekend? Jones gets back in the ring, 2+ minutes in, a submission victory. He's a heavyweight champion. All these, I mean, with all this time away from the game, and the GOAT talk is there, he is sensational. If he can just keep himself eligible or active or whatever the right word is, he is phenomenal. He's, I don't know, am I wrong if I tell you he's UFC still? He's their best draw?
No. John Jones just, man, I've been on that roller coaster with John Jones.
Sure.
He was my favorite person to watch. I remember watching this dude fight on Versus back in the day, and he won one of his fights, and I was like, yep, this dude is never going to fight on free TV ever again, and he absolutely exploded. He's one of the ones that it can be hard at times to separate, because I know John Jones is still a fan favorite, but man, the stuff he's done,
yeah,
it doesn't make me want to flock to the TV to watch John Jones fight again. But to see him come back, go up to heavyweight, hasn't fought in forever, and get a first-round submission, that's a credit to how good he is.
It's impressive, and now it looks like he's going to get Stipe Miocic, and that's the fight I think a lot of people want to see that might get you to flock to the pay-per-view. All right, we're talking Monday Night Football when we get back. You love you some football. You get you some football tonight here in the Burke. It's the UNM spring game, the Cherry Silver game, spring showcase. Head coach Danny Gonzalez is going to join us next. We're going to talk to him about how the spring went and does he have a quarterback? Who is it? And why you should get out there tonight. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12. Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep three.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
New Mexico Sportscaster of the
At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes.
Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Is that the Monday Night Football song? I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
At one point. You get Monday Night Football tonight. It is what is today? March 6th. You get to go out and watch football. 6 o'clock tonight, University Stadium, free of charge. You even get the dulcet tones of Dylan Storm, right? He'll tell you, who's on the tackle here in Albuquerque.
They're actually doing interactive stuff on the sidelines with Robert Portnoy as well.
See, I think it's beautiful. No, they're doing this up right. The spring game, Global Football spring practice comes to an end. You've heard about all the new players and all the new stuff going on, and you get a chance to go out and see it tonight. JJ, actually, somebody just asked me, how was your weekend? I was thinking, how was my weekend? It started off at 7:30 on Saturday morning. I got to speak very, very briefly to the UNM football team and meet some of those young men and be out.
They're like, oh, it's Scott Van Pelt. Oh, no, it's not.
Mick Cronin's here. What's he doing? None of us play basketball. We're not going to UCLA. Danny Gonzalez is the head football coach at UNM. Big night tonight. He joins us on the 377 Brewery Hotline. Danny, good morning. Thanks for being on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Good morning. We're living great. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful day here in town. Now let's talk about the real important stuff. We got our women's basketball team on a 6-game winning streak that tips off today at 3:30 our time. And I heard you talking about the DMW. I mean, you can make it even easier. You have a smartphone, just download the Mountain West app. Download the app, and you can watch it right there. You can stream it to your phone, all those good things. And our basketball team Wednesday. We're just going to do a little bit of fun tonight here in the stadium. People can come out and watch our football team. We're 180 days from today away from opening the season. So that 6 months is going to go quick. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have all kinds of things. So it'll be a great day here at University Stadium.
So I got a little feel for it. In JJ, the reason I was talking to the team, I was doing a little bowl research, right? I'm working on gifting, and I realized, I don't know what I try to put together the best gifts, but I want to talk to the UNM football team about, what do you guys want as college football players going to bowl games? And I asked, raise your hand, how many of you guys have been to a bowl game? And there were some transfers, but not nearly enough. And Danny, I got a little bit of a taste of the hunger in that room that, that's something they want to go to. They were looking at that list, and you could see, man, they want to be there. And look, you can want all you want. You got to put in the work. But I don't know. It gave me a little bit of a different perspective of what this team is. How did spring go, and how do you feel your team is above the shoulders? Never mind the physical stuff. How are they mentally?
Well, one, you have to have enough talent. I think we have enough talent to be a really competitive football team in our league. The guys, the installation of the offense has been, Coach Vincent's done a great job and the offensive staff of teaching the stuff before we even got on the field and then them executing it. We'll have tonight's scrimmage will be the one defense versus the one offense, two defense versus the two offense for most of it, because I think we're going to use it as a game-type situation. We need to continue to get better as a football team instead of drafting and putting guys that don't normally play together. we're still in that mode. Dylan Hopkins has a chance to be a really, really special quarterback in this league and beyond. I mean, he's got a future in football, the way he can spin it and what he's been able to do at this level. And then adding the pieces on the outside, wide receivers, DJ Washington has a chance to be not only one of the best receivers in this league, but one of the best receivers on the west side of the United States. I mean, he's got some special talent. So there's some excitement right there. Defensively, we've got like Deion Hunter. Deion Hunter is an established, great football player who will play limited reps tonight so that we don't take a chance of getting him banged up, and then we'll keep going from there.
Is Dylan your quarterback, or is the competition open, or do you have a number one guy going into the fall?
Well, I think Dylan is separating himself from that other group. And to be expected, he has the experience within this offense. But I'll tell you the two that are coming behind him really close, DC Tapscott and Devin Dampier. They've kind of moved themselves up to the two, and then you have Justin and Isaiah right behind them. DC and Devin are having a really good battle for the number 2 spot right now behind Dylan. I think those guys are very talented. Now they're different. I mean, DC is 6'4". He can spin it. Devin is right at 6 foot, 6'1". He's one of the most athletic quarterbacks I've ever been around, but he's not somebody who wants to run. He can throw it like the other two, and it's really impressive to see those guys compete out there.
Hey, Danny, what is the difference with the quarterback room early on? Of course, you got experience at the top, a guy that's been there, done that in the system with Hopkins, but just overall, how these guys are working together that should then help this football team.
Well, I mean, give Isaiah and Justin a ton of credit because they've got guys coming in to compete for the jobs that they played the last couple of years, and that room has really molded together. I mean, they spend a lot of time together. They help each other. Dylan's been great in helping the other guys learn the offense. And then watching them compete and watching them help and get after each other at the same time, the attitude, the positivity that's going on has just been outstanding. And when you have good players behind good players, that competition excels you to be better, or else somebody's going to pass you by. And we haven't had a ton of depth, especially at that position. Well, that room being as deep as it is right now, that's just really good for our entire football team.
Danny, you mentioned the skill position players on the outside. What do you like about the options that you have at wide receiver? Because those guys can also make a quarterback look that much better.
Well, DJ Washington, I talked about him earlier. I mean, he's 6'5", he's about 215 pounds. He can run. He goes up and makes some just crazy competitive catches. Caleb Medford, one of the TCU transfers, is in that same mold. He's about 6'3". He can take the top off. He'll be one of the top 5 as far as speed on our team, and I think our team speed is going to be really, really good this year. And then you've got guys. I mean, the Luke Weissong and Jeremiah Hickson inside the slot. Luke can go inside and out. Those guys have given us some depth, and then Deuce Jones can take it over the top. I mean, we have some threats out there that we have not had in the 3 years that I've been the head coach. That takes pressure off of those guys up front. Now, the guys up front have to be able to protect them. And we've got 4 of the 5 offensive linemen we think are really, really solid. We're still competing for one of the guard spots. And then we've got some other guys coming in that'll give us some depth, because if those guys aren't good, it doesn't matter what you have on the outside or a quarterback or running back. Those guys have to do their part before any of that stuff even starts. We have those pieces. Now it's just continue to put those together and what Coach V and the offense is doing and continue to progress until we play against Texas A&M on September 2nd.
Global football coach Danny Gonzalez with us on the Sports Animal. It is the spring game tonight and the spring showcase. A lot of fun out at University Stadium. It is free, the wrap-up of spring football. I'll let you answer this question from Carl because I know you don't shy away from stuff. It says, why is Gonzalez breezing them on Monday night, Jeff? People have lives. They can't go to that on Monday night, especially the folks that already rearranged their schedule once to watch the Lady Lobos. Well, look, it's not Saturday or Monday enough for some people. You know that. Maybe you should have called Carl and see when it fit into his schedule. But explain why Monday night, why we're doing the spring game on a Monday night.
For sure. And well, Carl, you can listen in on the radio. I mean, they're going to do some live stuff there. The big reason to have it on Monday night this time of year is, in my opinion, you should put all your focus on both basketball teams that are getting ready to play in the Mountain West tournament. And we love making Thomas and Mack Center Pitt West. And for the people that want the opportunity to be able to see spring football and see what is going to happen in the fall and still get out to Vegas, it gives you an opportunity to do both. Now, our women need to win today so that everybody can get out there tomorrow and continue to watch them if they're still here in Albuquerque. The men start on Wednesday. So it gives you an opportunity to be able to do that, especially March Madness is a big thing, and it should be. And so we're going to give people, and I apologize for the ones that can't get off work, but it's not the focus right now. The focus for our football team will be in September and going forward. And right now I want to be able to support those two programs.
All right. I haven't talked to you since the schedule came out. You like the way your schedule worked out for you? It shows you some games early. You're going to start out at Texas A&M, and then you're going to go. You get a couple of home games, Tennessee Tech and New Mexico State. Go out to UMass and then start league play. Do you like the way this whole thing played out? No San Diego State on here, no Colorado State, no Air Force, which is going to be really weird.
That'll be different. The Colorado State and Air Force, who we played forever and ever, now we've decided as the Mountain West Conference to play a 9-league schedule that rotates. There's no more divisions, so the top 2 teams will play in the championship game. So there's going to be 2 teams that you miss every year. This year, those 3 for us. We'll play Boise and San Jose State. That's who we got lumped with to play every single year. The schedule, I think, is really, really balanced. We knew who the first 4 were between Texas A&M, New Mexico State, UMass, Tennessee Tech. Those 4, we knew those 4. And then going into the conference now, we never are away from home for more than 2 weeks. We're never at home for more than 2 weeks, which I think is great. You can continue to move it around. It's been since 1962, since Bobby Santiago was running up and down the field for the Lobos, that we've gone undefeated at home. And so we've made a big deal about when we practice in the stadium and taking advantage of all those opportunities because there's 6 games on there. I mean, the thing about our league, and I think this is both basketball and football, and what gives our team, our local men's basketball and women, an opportunity to win the conference tournament this week, is anybody can beat anybody. Now, it used to be anybody can beat anybody on any given day. That means you had to have a really good day and you could upset the top team. Our league has such parity in both sports that anybody can beat anybody. We're playing the last place team, Wyoming. They could beat New Mexico. New Mexico could beat them. I mean, they've done, and that's the same thing in our league in football. There's nobody in our league that is so dominant that nobody has a chance to beat them. So I think the schedule being balanced gives us a great opportunity to be competitive. And then November 4th, we have the swing at Boise, at Fresno before we come back to Utah State. We'll see where the cards lay out when we get to that point.
Well, Danny, Lobo fans, they see you at all the sporting events around campus. They've seen you at the men's basketball games. What do you like about March? And when you get a chance to just be a fan, yeah, you're the head coach of the Lobo football team, but you're also a fan. What do you like about this time?
Well, I mean, this is a great time of year. You've got spring football. You've got March Madness. We had a little March Madness amongst our football team over in the pit about 3 weeks ago. You've got baseball starting, and both our baseball and softball teams are off to a tremendous start. You get a little bit of everything this time of year. You've got spring training, which you can get over to Phoenix area and watch a whole bunch of games. I mean, there's a lot going on this time of year. And outside of the wind and the allergies, I think it's one of the funnest times of year. I heard Anne-Marie just tore up with allergies. I lived that way from end of February till the end of April, and that's one of the pleasures of living here. I think this is the hardest 2 months, but there's so much going on that people get an opportunity to see all of our great athletes. We have over 400 athletes in the athletic department, and 90% of them are competing in some kind of season right now. And so being a Lobo fan in this community, I mean, we're going to paint this down cherry. What Richard has been able to do with our basketball team to get the excitement back, we just have to continue that all the way through the fall and into next basketball season.
Yeah, but the wind blows your golf ball around quite a bit. It's hard to keep it in the fair, at least for me anyway. All right, tonight, 6 o'clock, get it started. Free parking. There's going to be food trucks, free admission. Get yourself out there and have fun and get your first look at Lobo football for next season as they go in and wrap up spring football. Danny, always appreciate you. Have fun tonight. Good luck with it. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate you guys having me on. The other fun thing that'll be tonight, they're going to have posters, giveaways.
That's right.
Our kids are going to be down on the sideline afterwards. You can meet them. They'll sign autographs for the youngsters. We've been visiting elementary schools, have those guys come out. I mean, it's going to be a fun night in University Stadium. Don't forget about our women today at 3:30 before you come on over. Probably be playing the end of the game on the Jumbotron. We got a lot of great things. Things are going in the right direction. I appreciate all the support. Thanks, Jeff, JJ, Amory. Go Lobos.
See you, Danny. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. There is one thing in there that I think there's a nugget that I maybe feel better going into the fall. A little bit of security at a pretty key spot. We'll talk about that when we get back. 90% of all the information your brain receives is through your eyes. Do you know that? 90%. If your eyes don't work well, then what? And at high altitude, like here in Albuquerque, contact lenses don't work as well. Call Stephen Coleman at Coleman Vision. Dr. Coleman did my LASIK back in 2003, I want to say. He specializes in treating astigmatism with LASIK. He's done that since 1998. I had a high degree of astigmatism. It's one of the reasons I went to see him and I had my LASIK surgery. The technology that Dr. Coleman uses is cutting edge. He's played a significant role in developing and testing the current technology he uses, which is not only here in New Mexico, but around the world. Originated at Sandia Labs in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I was tired of, I was doing the morning news. I was tired of wearing glasses and putting in my contacts every morning, and it just hurt. I was done. And I went and saw Dr. Coleman. And I went in after work one day. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had my LASIK done. And literally had the surgery. It was painless. Closed my eyes for 30 minutes, opened up, and it was life-changing, you guys. I don't say that lightly. I could see across the room. I could see, and I still can. And it still works. It's still 20 years later, changed my life. If you are thinking about LASIK, if you are done with glasses and contacts and you think you're a candidate, there's only one place to go. He's the best there is. You're going to love the place. You're going to love the staff, and you're going to love the results. Call, make an appointment. Coleman Vision's at 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880 or online at colemanvision.com.
You could win a $1,000 gift card to America.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early. I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine. Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes. Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
I don't know. It sounds like you kind of have a quarterback, doesn't it? Danny Gonzalez said Dylan Hopkins is certainly the leader. It sounds to me like that you got a quarterback. And I don't think that's a surprise, but I think going in, and you get a good look at him today, the transfer from UAB. He's got 1 year left. Aiden Armento will be there in the fall. You got a couple guys that are pushing him, but I think it feels to me, JJ, and we got a lot of names. I feel like with Tab Scott coming over from App State, the 2 freshmen you got coming in, Justin Holiday here, and then Dylan Hopkins transferring and having 1, it feels to me for the first time there's a little bit of not just depth in numbers, but and again, I want to see it, but depth in quality quarterbacks. You feel that way? For the first time in maybe a minute? I don't think he can hear me. Is that correct? Am I just kind of talking to myself right now? All right. Well, that's what I got out of that. What did you get out of it? You can get in at 505-246-0610. I was looking at JJ, but I don't think he can hear me right now. So we'll get and JJ's in Vegas. I'll be there on you got me now? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what I was saying is I got out of that. I feel like you got a quarterback. It sounds like Dylan Hopkins, and I'm surprised it's going to be your first string guy. But I feel like, and I want to see him, but not only do I feel like there's numbers at the quarterback position, I feel like there should be numbers in decent depth quality, right? With Tab Scott coming from App State, the 2 freshmen, Justin Holiday, I feel not secure, but a little bit better about the quarterback position than I have maybe in a bunch of years.
Because unfortunately, we've seen the Lobos go through multiple quarterbacks. I think even if they have depth, if we're in a situation where the Lobos are playing multiple quarterbacks, it's not going to be a successful season for UNM. And
it's like every year.
You want to say, hey, you got the guys, you got to be ready to come in. They need a dude that can start 90% of the games and go in this offense. Even if you have depth and you like the talent, if you're bouncing to QB2, QB3, it's going to be another lost season for this team.
Yeah. And look, you may need QB2, but if you start going 3 and 4, that's where it is. I think every team has to go at least 2. I mean, I don't think there was a team in this league, right? Even the team that won it last year, Fresno State, they played 3-4 games without their stud quarterback, didn't they? Jake Haener was out for a while. I know San Diego State went through 3 of them. I know Boise State went through 3 of them. Everybody went through a bunch of quarterbacks. I think in college football, you need to. But if you're down to 3 and 4 and you're starting 4 different quarterbacks, yeah, you're probably gonna have a problem. Now Boise State was able to do it. Fresno State did it because Jake Haener was out in the non-conference portion of their slate, right? Then they got him back once they started league play and ran through league play, won the league, won the conference championship game, won their bowl game. But yeah, when you're this team, and that's I don't know how many.
Well, those are established teams. Like those are good football teams.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That you know, the Aztecs are just like, oh, these guys aren't playing good. Like the Lobos, they need a constant at that position to try to establish themselves as something offensively that we have not been able to see in a long time.
All right. You can get in on that if you'd like. 505-246-0610. Breaking news this morning, multiple reports are Derek Carr, quarterback, former Raider quarterback now, will sign a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. So that's the first big free agent domino, the first big quarterback domino to fall in the National Football League this offseason. Derek Carr, multiple reports, is going to sign with the New Orleans Saints. I also spent time this morning talking about Ja Morant, the spectacular young guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, who has been kind of put in timeout by the NBA. He was on a video, his own Instagram video, on Friday night, Saturday morning in Denver after a loss to the Nuggets, and flashing a gun. It always says, what looked like a gun? He flashed a gun. Grizzlies and the NBA shut him down. Initially, it was 2 games. Now there's no timetable, according to Taylor Jenkins, their coach. And we've talked about this quite a bit. What does it mean? What does it mean for Ja, the face of the league? And I know, Adolph, you want to talk about that. Adolph, good morning to you. You're on the Sports Animal.
Morning. Yeah, did he brandish the weapon in a nightclub or something?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. And most times, nightclubs have these policies pursuant to state law about bringing a firearm onto the premises. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that situation with Plaxico Burress when he accidentally shot himself in a nightclub and basically ended up wounded in jail in a destroyed NFL career. But getting back to Jay Morant, just from what I've read, his upbringing was nothing like the image that he's trying to portray.
Correct.
And what he's trying to do is give the impression that he's a gangster, and he's really not a real gangster. He's not. And there's an old saying here: don't try to be something that you ain't. And it reminded me of the situation. I saw a documentary on Tupac Shakur, and that I guess that's still an unsolved mystery, his murder. And just from the documentary, from what I recall, he had slapped a guy who was a real gangster. But Tupac was never, a gangster. And unfortunately, he paid for that mistake, with his life. I fully agree with the NBA that they had to come down hard on Morant, for this. If you don't stop this, nothing good can come of this. And again, he's trying to be something that he's really not. And if you play in that world and you're not really in that world, bad things can happen. Thanks for taking my call. I'm out.
I appreciate you. And I think that's really kind of where the NBA is saying. And I'm not sure that's who you are. That might be who you want to think you are or want to portray you are, but he didn't grow up in that world.
It'd still be bad if that's who he was then.
No, it would be. Yeah, no, though, that's right.
Like,
too. Yes.
That's what the NBA is trying to do. Like, hey, man, check yourself before you end up wrecking yourself. You got so much in front of you. Dude just got a Nike deal, and he's an unbelievable player. The Grizzlies have had success, and it's like, all right, man, this is the moment. What are you gonna do?
Adolph just brought up the Plaxico Burress. Do you remember that? The Giants receiver was in a nightclub in New York.
Shot himself in the leg.
Now, he went to jail because the gun laws in New York were way more strict than they are in many other states, including Colorado, where Ja Morant was. But you brought up some issues earlier. Like it's concerning on a number of levels. First of all, don't most clubs, most bars where alcohol is served, and I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer, but I'm fairly certain every time you go in, there's no guns allowed where there's alcohol, right? It's like you can't bring it into a school, you can't bring guns into a bar, right? Legally. I know people do, but isn't that correct?
Depends on the city and state, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, into clubs, yes.
All right.
Usually security pats you down.
No, he's Ja
They've
Morant.
taken Mace away from me.
See? All right, so he's Ja Morant, so he was probably rolling with some, with a bunch of people.
He's not going in the front door.
Yeah, I promise you, he's not going in the front door. Patted down, 100%. And so, then there's that. But I don't know what the gun laws are there. Look, luckily nobody got shot. But your point on the whole, what are you doing? Did you travel with this gun? Is it on the? We have this whole thing with the Aggie thing, right? Are they taking guns on the team bus? Oh my goodness, how can that be? Fair enough. See. They charter.
Like, who is he flying his friends around? Like, where? Because I gotta believe those dudes ain't on the team plane. So if they're
there's a lot.
His buddies, how are they getting that around? Like, there's just so much in here. You're just like, Josh, slow down, man.
Well,
like, give yourself a buffer. Focus on being a great basketball player that has an unbelievable opportunity right now. And because all it takes is one spilt drink, one bump, one person you think is looking at someone the wrong way, and
Or
it's
your
not
buddy
it's your friends that go off, and then you get caught up in it, and there we go.
Yeah, and there's an old expression: you are who you roll with, right? You are with who you are, who your friends are. I'm not telling you his friends are bad people. Please, that's not what I'm saying. But if that's who, there's been the incidents. The Washington Post did a whole report on you talked about the lasers directed at Indiana Pacer players. There was a report about him punching a 17-year-old kid on his property at his house for a pickup game over. I mean, reportedly punching this kid. John Morant's on the cusp of going one way or the other. John Morant is on the cusp of being an absolute superstar, face of this league, like billion-dollar dude, right? I mean, honestly, billion-dollar dude. Personality, game, small market, still making money. Small school, went to Murray State. Like, could be something. Or you can go the other way and blow this whole thing. And I think the NBA is trying to say, look, man, we're going to shut you down and you're going to figure this out. Whether you want to hear it or not, you're going to hear it, or it's going to go the other way. And nothing happened. And guns are legal, and you are allowed to carry a gun to protect yourself. But the image that the NBA is trying to portray is not of dudes, superstars, flashing their guns in a club on their own Instagram. You don't have to like it. That's what their image is not going to be, and John Morant's going to have to play that game if he wants to play in their game. That's just how that's going to be. I mean, simple. It really, really is that simple. All right, when we come back, Derek Carr signing with the Chiefs. Does that make them the front runner in the NFC South right now?
The Saints.
What did I say? The Chiefs?
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Like, that'd be kind of crazy. I'd be like, I think
No,
Chiefs fans would
bad.
lose it.
100% my bad. 100%. He's signing with the New Orleans Saints. Sorry about that. Thanks for saving me.
No, you're okay.
But does that make them the front runners right away? We'll talk about that. I want to tell you about the best, like bar none, the best jewelry store in the state, and it's John Thomas Jewelers. I went in, I met John, and I got a tour. And I was amazed by it. It's not this mall jewelry store where you go and you get high pressure, pick something out of a case, and here it is. No. This is custom jewelry. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. If you can dream it, they can make it. Why? Because they do it on site. So they've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque for years now because they're the only preferred jeweler in Albuquerque. That makes them the only jeweler in town that gives you a free lifetime nationwide warranty on what you get. So they took me back and they showed me their repair facility and their design facility, and it's all on site. They don't send your stuff to New York or LA or wherever it is to get it made. That's why it is so affordable. The prices is way more reasonable than you're going to think for high quality, beautiful custom pieces. When you're ready to make her your wife, when you're ready to buy that ring, make it special, and this will make the transformation complete. Then stop by afterwards and introduce your wife to John and say, hey, thank you, and let him know. State-of-the-art on-site repair facility and design facility. It's John Thomas Jewelers. They are flat out the best. Third floor, Lewis University building, right on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, across the street from Coronado Mall. They're my jeweler. They should be yours as well. JohnThomasJewelers.com. If you can dream it, they can make it. The Mountain.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early. I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we...
Derek Carr is going to be a New Orleans Saint. How are you feeling about that? Does that make them the favorites now in the NFC South? I think the answer has got to be yes. Tampa Bay, what are they? Leonard Fournette's gone. They got two good receivers, a defense that's super underperformed, quarterback that you have no idea who it is. Okay, Carolina.
Well, all of them.
Yeah,
you don't know who the quarterback.
Carolina's all right. I mean, they got Sam Darnold and what, PJ Moore or something.
PJ Walker,
yeah, that guy.
Former XFL star.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, look around the division. Are they the favorites now in the NFC South?
Today, yes.
Yes.
Until we see what happens with
No-brainer.
Atlanta and everybody else.
Atlanta,
I think even
mediocre, right?
Yep. I'm just saying, if anyone else acquires, we'll see what quarterback situations look like.
The difference could be, man, could Atlanta land Lamar Jackson? Because if they place that non-exclusive tag on him, the Falcons are in a great position to offer him a crazy deal. Baltimore would get 2 first-round picks back. One would be a high pick. I don't know if it would be this year's pick. I don't know the timing of it. If it would be like the next couple years. That could change things, but right now for the Saints, I don't see anyone getting better. But Jimmy Garoppolo going to one of those teams? All right, then we said it's even with the Saints. This is 10-7, 11-6, win the division, go to the playoffs. Now, if you're looking at it, I'm thinking we could see Anthony Richardson in Carolina. Seems like a good landing spot.
I kind of like that.
Last that long.
You know how I feel about Anthony Richardson. I think he is the wild card. He's like the Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson talent in this draft, JJ, where for whatever reason slips into the teens or even later and ends up being the best quarterback in the draft when it's all said and done.
Because he's not polished. Like, he wasn't great at Florida, but the dude got a cannon. And this is the one thing where you don't want to overrate the combine because you're running 40 yards in a straight line. You don't necessarily do that all the time on the field. It's about side to side. It's about things. But what Anthony Richardson was able to do at the NFL Combine was showcase his athleticism. And you just said, okay, we all this stuff, now it is for real. The dude can move. He's explosive. And his size. Like, he's going to hold up. And, yeah, you're going to, even if you're an athletic quarterback in the league, you're going to get your hits, you're going to get banged up. But if you can harness that, man, we're looking at someone that could be Josh Allen 2.0.
It's funny you said that.
He has all that stuff.
So I was going to Josh Allen because I think that he is the poster child. Now, there's plenty of guys who are falling on the other side of this, but a guy who I was told when he came into the league is inaccurate, who yeah, he could throw the ball over the mountains, but he can't find windows. He can't get into tight situations. He can't make the tough throws. And he evolved. He grew. He developed. And he's the guy that was proven to me, if you get him into an NFL system and you get NFL coaching, and look, now it's a job, right? In college, there's restrictions on how much time you can spend with a guy and how many hours you can play and practice, all that stuff. The NFL, man, you can have a guy 24/7 if you want. It's his job. And I watched the guy develop. And it's exactly the comparison I was thinking before you said it, was Anthony Richardson's raw, but you put him into a situation where he gets solid quality quarterback coaching into a good offense with a good coordinator. That's why I like his upside so much. I'm not going to tell you C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young aren't very good, and Will Levis. I mean, they are.
I don't think it's crazy, man. If you're telling me, I think C.J. Stroud's QB1 just because he's got the size, athleticism, makes all the throws. That if I had a team, would I take Anthony Richardson over Bryce Young? I don't think that's crazy because I don't think that
he's bigger.
Anthony Richardson's going to get snapped in half if he gets hit by an NFL defensive lineman. Bryce Young, his awareness, he's got the best awareness of this quarterback class. You just see him in the pocket when things are breaking down. Like, he is a very good quarterback. But if you're taking the chance on something that you don't see a lot, whether it's, one of these guys that has all the tools that doesn't develop, which absolutely happens, or it's not just short. Like, Bryce Young's a small dude.
Mm-hmm. He's
and
slight.
we haven't seen that last in the NFL. Like, who's that dude that you even look at to compare him to right
now? James, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, James.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, I was looking at the bracket, and it looks like we're going to be a solid number 2, a possible number 1, the Bruins.
UCLA he's talking about. Wait.
Yeah, UCLA. And it looks Sacramento and then Vegas. Man, Sacramento, the Bay Area has more UCLA alum than they do Cal or Stanford. So, and then Vegas, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump on the 15. And, Vegas can turn into a little LA just like that. So, feeling pretty good going into the conference tournament. Hopefully get to see you guys. I might go see New Mexico play. Hopefully play on Friday. The Orleans, or is it Thomas and Mack?
Thomas and Mack.
Okay. So hopefully get to go and see you guys, and I'll stop by.
And I do
feeling good. Feeling real good about our chances, guys.
Say hello and safe
you guys
travel.
Have a good one.
See you, James. So Pac-12 is interesting. Jerry's latest bracket, which is dated this morning at 9:03, has UCLA as a 2 seed in the West and Arizona as a 3 in the West. He's got USC holding on to a 10. And does he have Arizona State in? He's got to, doesn't he? No, Arizona State is one of the first 4 out. So they're only getting 3, according to Jerry. Same as the Mountain West, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this week. It's getting going. The tournament's West Coast Conference going down tonight. 2 big semifinals. And then Pac-12 over at T-Mobile. And Thomas and Mack. Like, this is, if you get a chance and you're a basketball fan, this is where you want to be, man. You want to be in Vegas this week.
All right, 505-246-0610. We're going to wrap you up. JJ's in Vegas, and I'm going to be there on Wednesday. I'll be there Tuesday night, actually, but looking forward to it. Ladies go today. JJ's going to tell you what the ladies have to do to win when we return, because they got a tough one against a team that they split with this season in San Diego State. It's March, man. Year moves quickly. And we're good in the spring now. You're sneezing, right? You know, a lot of things that got left undone the first couple of months. Don't let taking care of you go undone. Gentlemen, if you're dealing with natural things like fatigue or weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, do yourself a favor and call NuMale. NuMale has helped thousands of men feel better. They're right here in Albuquerque. It'll help you deal with things. You'll feel better. You'll perform better. Do this for you. Now for men and ladies who are dealing with hair loss, Numel is your solution as well. Call them at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at Numel, Numale.com. Numel's professionals walk you through the options. You'll choose what's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. Using your own platelets stimulates stem cells deep in your hair follicle. It stops hair loss. You regrow hair. FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. Proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. Men and ladies, take care of it. Call Numel at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at Numel.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rich Ford celebrating 62 years at the corner of Lomas and Wyoming Northeast. New Mexico, look the best in New Mexico souvenirs and team apparel. California Closets, custom closet systems and solutions for the whole home. They are the ones who are making sure that we are there for you for the Mountain West Conference Tournament. JJ, I was looking at Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com and CBS Sports, who, by the way, was all over my TV this week. Jerry combed his hair, put on his suit.
Or just having it on the background, too. I just kept hearing Palm.
Yeah.
Palm.
Yeah, there's Jerry everywhere. So he's got right now in the bracket that came out this morning, he's got 4 Mountain West teams in. Utah State crawled into the first 4 in Dayton after they beat Boise State on Saturday in Logan. So, but it's tenuous now. They're one of the last 4 in. Nevada's an 11 seed. Boise State's a 10 seed. So all 3 of those, I imagine, could they play their way out? If they lose on Thursday, I imagine one of those could be out. If all 4 win, and I don't think this is going to happen, first of all, I don't think we're getting to Friday night of the men's conference tournament and having 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be San Diego State versus Nevada, Boise State versus Utah State. Top 4 seeds go to the semifinals, right? So if someone gets beat on Thursday in the quarters, certainly if Utah State does, and Utah State is going to play the winner of the New Mexico Wyoming game, correct? If they get beat, are they out? They got to.
Yes.
Right?
That's what it's called being on the bubble, because these things change for everyone. Like, you could even win a game or 2 and still find yourself on the outside if a team just picks off 2 better wins than you had that was on the bubble. And so absolutely, like, these teams could be on the outside looking in.
Michigan played their way in this weekend, right? He's got the last 4 in Penn State, Mississippi State. Penn State came all the way back, and they had a big win. Mississippi State, Utah State, Michigan, first 4 out. These are
because Michigan lost at Indiana yesterday. It's not a bad loss, but it's another missed opportunity.
So listen to the teams that are just knocking on your door. Wisconsin, they're every year, 17-13. Oklahoma State, they're every year, 17-14. Carolina played in the national championship game, just got beat by Duke the other night. They're 19-12. Arizona State. So that's, if you're a Utah State and Mountain West fan, that's who you're hoping gets beat early in their conference tournament if you want to get these extra teams in. If you want those extra units, as I just told you about, that are worth $2 million over the next 6 years.
We're talking to an audience right now that could care less about Utah State.
Fair enough.
Like, they want
100%.
them to lose that game if the Lobos beat Wyoming.
I think the Lobos are going to be are going to get to Friday. I do. I think they're going to beat Wyoming. I think they're going to beat Utah State. I do. Now, Utah State's one of the best 3-point shooting teams in America. Statistically, they are.
And that was a game that there wasn't any excuses for the Lobos. It wasn't, we didn't have this guy or that guy. They got lit up by Utah State.
Yeah. All right, text line 505-246-0610. You're talking about Ja Morant. And look, we know this. Are guns allowed in bars? Are they allowed? Are they legal in clubs? No, but we all know that doesn't mean nobody's got one. Text line says, years ago, a fight broke out at the then Albuquerque nightclub Cowboys in Juan Tabo involving security and customers. The fight moved towards the front door. The customer pulled out a gun they'd been carrying and used it to shoot and injure the bar personnel. Just goes to show in clubs, they're not always screened. Yeah, I think we know that. I think we know that. But I also, what I understand is it intensifies the penalty, right? Stoking the flames. There was a caller earlier who asked, are you guys stoking the flames?
Not us.
On Jalen House. And I'm like, hardly. Bruce said, this is nothing new, Jeff. When Stigwood was doing the post-game call-in show, half the callers said he was a homer and the other half said he was negative. That's probably right.
Well, that means he's doing a good job.
That's probably right. All right, Sarah said, so at 3:30 today, JJ, 2:30 your time. When we hear JJ, the teams are approaching the starting gate. It's post time. What do we expect, Jeff? SDSU was second most of the season. They faded to 5th. It's a good sign for the Lady Lobos, right?
This is a pick'em. Sitting here in Vegas, this would be a pick'em game. This is the best game on the slate today on the women's side. 4-5 matchup. 2 12-6 teams in conference. The Aztecs, they're physical. They can defend. They had number 1 scoring defense in Mountain West play. The Lobos showed that they can be really effective offensively against them in 2 games. They went cold in the 4th quarter at Viejas Arena. Man, this one, it's a coin flip. They split the season series. I think the Lobos are confident. They're feeling good about what they've done on this run. They handled the bottom half of the bracket to end the season. They know that they can play with San Diego State. And I'm just excited for what is going to be a great game between these two teams because it's Ken Sickinger put all the numbers in one place this morning. The Apple Creek Journal, I appreciate that. Mike Bradbury in 7 years has played San Diego State 15 times.
7-7, or 7-8, 8-7. What?
No, the Lobos have been on the plus side, but I mean, like, this is a matchup that it's like it feels like every other week somehow, some way you're playing the Aztecs, and these players have been around for a long time. They know each other. No surprises. Like they're not going to pull something out of the hat. It's going to be good, and I'm excited for this one.
All right, JJ will have that call 3:30 today. Tip 3 o'clock pregame from the Thomas and Mack Center. We spoke with Jamal Mashburn Jr. earlier today. You can listen to that. The podcast will be up on our website, sportsaudiblebq.com, and click on the opening drive wherever you get your podcast.
Just give it a little bit, but the Danny Gonzalez one is up right now.
All right, so Danny
just gives a little more time on the Jamal Mashburn.
And the Lobo football coach, we got the spring game tonight. David says, best of luck to Mash and the Lobos this week in Vegas. Would love to see Jamal play in the pit next year with our incoming talent. Speaking of that, incoming post player Jaden Toppin is this week's Dallas Morning News Player of the Week. The 6'8" forward averaged over 25 and 11, almost 5 blocks per game, as Faith Family Academy went 3-0 in the Class 4A playoffs, winning Region 2 title. Next up, state semifinal game Friday at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. His team's ranked number 1 in the Texas Coaches Classic 4A poll, looking to win back-to-back state championships. There you go. Well, that's good. Bill says House and Gash. I said Gash to make it funny. Am I crazy, Jeff, to think they'll both be back next season? Where are they going to go? They aren't going to magically grow 5 inches over the summer. Are you crazy to think that, JJ? I don't know that you're crazy to think that. If you're asked,
where are they going to go? They're going to be making money somewhere, man. Not everyone that leaves goes on the NBA to make money, and it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Now Mash said, when we come back in July, we got to focus on defense. Maybe that was encouraging, maybe not. Is it crazy? No, I think it's all up in the air right now. Postseason award from Rod, Player of the Year, Hunter Maldonado from last place, Wyoming. Coach of the Year, Tim Miles. It was Steve Alford until the Pack choked on Saturday. Thought Nevada losing at home to UNLV. Look, that's a rivalry game, and UNLV is the team, by the way, that could be scary. Them and Colorado State can win some damn games in this thing.
I don't know, because Colorado State would have to play San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's UNLV, because they can beat Boise State. They get past Air Force.
Yeah. All right, I got more. I'll read them to you tomorrow. Good stuff today. Really good show. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Then JJ cracks the mic from Albertson's Radio Row at the Thomas and Mack Center.
Kill it,
Lobos
JJ.
and San Diego State quarterfinals. Mountain West Conference Tournament, 3 o'clock today. And then we're back with more award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Thank you to Jamal Mashburn Jr. and Danny Gonzalez. Both of them were with us this morning. You can listen to those via podcast, wherever it is you get your podcast. Amory, great work today.
Thank you.
Adrian, it looks great. Thanks for adding all that video accoutrements, additions. It looks great on the video side. JJ, be safe in Vegas. Have a great call today.
Thank you.
We're back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with award-winning radio. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible: Everguard Roofing.